Hey world, it's Tobo. It is September the 20th of 2014, and we succeeded! We have a show with warning track, and I'm happy. Yes!
I dubbed this the At Long Last cast.
Exactly. Oh man, it's been a while.
It has been a while. I gotta say, are those a few gray hairs I see over there? You look a lot older, man. Has it been years? Feels like years. Really.
However long it has been too long.
The internet has conspired to keep us apart.
Yes.
But no longer.
Yes.
For friendship conquers all, Tobo.
Friendship conquers all eventually.
Eventually. It takes a while. That whole love conquers all thing, that happens right away because, you know, love. But friendship conquers eventually.
Yes. So, all right. A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. This is not set in stone yet, but I might scrap the Tuesday show altogether and instead do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which will give us an extra show, but they're all squished together. So that's where my head's at right now. Again, I'll keep you guys posted. We are casting New Art High Rise!
Yes, that's one of the reasons we really wanted to get this done. When it didn't work out yesterday, I think we were both thinking, oh, but we really wanted to do this. We really wanted to cast the new art, so we had to come back and try.
Oh man, I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped too. I'm pretty hyped too. And did you notice something? Did you know something about the set you've chosen? Who are the people playing it, Tobo?
The people playing it are scientist and magician.
Science versus magic, the age-old struggle.
Friendship versus internet.
Yes, friendship versus internet, science versus magic, superstition versus progress.
Yes.
Yes, I like it. I didn't realize until I looked at it. I thought, wait a second, something seems weird. Aha! The scientist versus the magician.
Oh, man. There are...
Harry Potter versus Stephen Hawking. The battle you've all wanted to see.
There were so many possible titles for this cast.
But you're right. Friendship Cast returns. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That trumps all.
Indeed. So, we have, I believe, 20 games of New Art High Rise. I don't know whether we'll get through them all or not, but I don't particularly care.
It'll be pretty the whole time.
It will. And oh my god, it's pretty.
Yeah, seriously, like, if any of you guys like your hairdos the way they are right now, don't watch, because this is going to blow it straight back. Just get ready.
All right.
Okay? Yeah.
If anybody here has not yet seen the new art, let's stop teasing and get into this. Yeah. Starting things out here, New Art High Rise, any 4 of 8 is the game type in question right now. Scientist on the spy, magician on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. And oh my god, it's gorgeous.
It's so pretty. It's distracting. I was playing, I think it was a Radiophone the other day.
It's so distracting, neither of us saw that bug.
Oh yeah, it's right away, and that's how Scientist likes to play. But yeah, like when you play this, you're just, I don't know about you, but I just idle in conversation as spy just so I can swoop around and look at everything.
Little bit. Little bit.
Yep. Ooh, green microfilm at the green bookshelf.
Turned out beautifully. It was behind the not the glass, but that like pillar, behind the pillar.
We have the new pillar.
Yeah.
Pillars are not just for pan-up anymore, people. And he's chosen Alice, also known as Speedy. She has the fastest walk rate of anyone in the game by a significant margin.
We just call her Alice because John Zimmerman's girlfriend, and that's who she's modeled after and all that stuff. We've got Bug done, green film in pocket, 34% on the flirt, and 2.5 minutes left to play. This is looking pretty good for Scientists so far.
Yeah, it's interesting they're doing 4 of 8. There really isn't a settled meta on this yet, but that seems pretty good given the adjustment in time here.
Yeah. I think
we'll definitely see where it settles, though. I definitely think you need at least 4. The question is it going to be, I think, 4 of 8 or 4 of 7 after people get used to it, and that still remains to be seen.
Indeed.
Interesting. Gulps the drink. It's a sec. He did it after 1 sip, but it looked like he wanted to take the drink to look less conspicuous, but still didn't want to wait around too long for it.
Well, the sip and gulp is about as good as the triple sip, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty close, unless they're watching you. Maybe on balcony you wouldn't want to do that. But, boy, finishes the microfilm there. Magician completely zoomed in at the time, so it wasn't even a matter of being seen through the bush. It was totally invincible.
It's not that he was zoomed in, I don't think. It's that he was actually not behind the bush, but behind the curtain.
Yeah, that too. But he was zoomed in on the conversation at the same time. I don't know why. I think he might have been looking for a purloin.
Okay.
But he had no hope of catching that. Very aggressive play from Scientist, although that's no surprise.
And with Scientist being down to 1 minute and 10 seconds, all he needs is 2 flirts to get this finished up, and he's just now got his highlight. I think Scientist is in a very nice spot here.
Yeah, he's gonna, as long as he doesn't mess up something really basic like maybe pathing, he's gonna be okay. He can hang out in this conversation for a while too.
Indeed. If the queen there cooperates, might even be able to pick up a timer flirt, although he would need a green test on it, I believe.
I think that's what he's going to try to do. And you know, what's interesting here is that he's done 2 hardtails, but neither are the kind that leave any trace. So Magician really has no reason to think right now that he has to shoot. So he's not going to be particularly aggressive. There's no guest list missing. There's no statue swapped. He doesn't realize either of these is done, probably. So
here he goes for the window flirt. Keep in mind, with 25 seconds left, he needs a green here. Does he get it? He does not get it. So he's up at 98% on the flirt. He's going to time add. It's a red test.
Yep. Wow.
And there it goes. Oh, no, Scientist.
Yeah, I guess he just wasted a little bit too much time in the middle there. It's understandable. He seemed to keep a pretty good pace. I think the problem is that he really made up his mind not to do something like Inspect or BB. If he does either one of those, he doesn't have any time issues. Maybe he's more likely to get shot. But as it turns out, it really didn't seem like Magician was all that suspicious. I think he could have gotten away with a center statue easy, probably with a BB pretty easy. Wanted to do the flirt so he could avoid doing anything overt like that, but it ended up costing him. Those 2 are a lot safer time-wise, though. So
brutal thing is, 3 flirts, none of them were green.
Yeah, that's pretty hard. If any of them were green, he wins this.
Indeed.
But, you know, you got to plan that out. You certainly can't expect the green.
On the other hand, he did hit 2 green microfilm transfers. So
well, usually those are where you want your greens. Usually you can tolerate the white flirts, but in this case, no.
Yeah. Usually, sometimes does not quite cut it. So, Magician starts things out with the sniper win. Let's see what he can do on the spiral. Again, any 4 of 8. It's going to be like that all night long. This time with Magician on the spy, Scientist on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
He definitely does not play as fast as Scientist usually, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays on New Art High Rise.
Indeed.
Ooh, 3rd person at bookshelves early on.
That's an odd choice.
And Scientist correctly marks her as the 3rd person to approach.
Yes.
I will say, about half the time it's the 2nd
Oh,
person.
God, the red transfer! Oh, no! Oh, God!
I don't think he's seeing it.
That was... Okay.
Wow. Well, you know, you've got a bush and an equestrian blocking you, so you're okay.
I was so tempted to instant replay that. But...
That's maybe at the end of the game you should. Those are you don't see a lot of those.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Ooh, a little stutter step.
Not the greatest pathing coming out of here, but
I was watching from sniper view the whole time. Not that visible. Yeah, the bush is there and Alice was there. If he was looking at it, sure, but there was nothing that you could really catch out of the corner of your eye. He had a lot of good coverage.
God, I got caught on wheels for a moment there, but
yeah, pathing's been rough.
Yep. He's doing all right for himself, though. He's definitely not doing badly. Although he is starting to feel a bit of time pressure here.
Yeah,
he's got blue film in pocket, somehow. 34% on the flirt, and that's it.
I find it interesting the scientists highlight the 3rd person to go to shelves. In my experience, it's just as often the 2nd, because the AI makes up their mind to go, and if you get there just before them, they still go. Yeah. So 2nd or 3rd usually can be the spy. Yeah, he's idling a little too much here. He's gonna have to get moving soon. I think he's a little worried about that red test, and he probably thinks he's a big suspect, and he wants to shed suspicion. But it's funny, I don't think he is a big suspect.
Oh God, the pathing!
He was behind the glass the entire time from the sniper view, so that he might have gotten away with that too.
He was. I think, yeah, I don't think that was seen. It was just a little bit painful.
Oh wow, ST comes right up to him.
Able to get a free flirt off at the window, but keep in mind, there's a minute and 20 left in this game, and not a single mission completion yet.
Yeah. He's got about 2 half missions done. That's not bad, and he could do something like an inspect swap at the end, but you really don't want to have to do that. Ooh, going back to the bookshelf.
What?
Oh, he wants to fingerprint.
I don't know about this. It's a bit late to be starting fingerprint, especially with such time pressure.
Fingerprint is so circumstantial and people can beat you to it. It's not something you can usually rush. You can either luck your way into it late in the game. Oh boy.
Nice bug. Very
Incredible
nice bug coming across.
Great bug.
But the shot comes off.
I gotta say, from sniper view, that bug was phenomenal.
Okay.
That was a great bug. I can't believe he got shot for it.
There are a few things I want to instant replay here.
Yeah. Wow, what a great bug.
First things first, let's go back to 309.
Yes.
And have a look at this microphone transfer. Let's play it now. There's the red test. You can see her fumbling around there. Little bit of a head turn, but it wasn't very visible from sniper view. It really wasn't. And the other thing was the bug, stepping back to 1 minute on the nose.
Oh, by the way, after the red test, microfilm walks right through the center of the conversation, too.
So, 1 minute on the nose. 3, 2, 1, play. Here comes. There's that bug. How gorgeous was that?
If you watch it from the sniper view, boy, that was so good. But I think I think we have to assume that scientist, therefore, was already getting pretty suspicious of her.
Oh yeah.
And was really watching for that arm drag, because even looking forward, it's pretty hard to see.
Absolutely, it is. So we are dropping some frames here and there, but we're generally stable. So
cool.
It shouldn't be a problem.
I'm gonna call that a moral victory.
Apparently, I accidentally took away Magician's point instead of. I'm not sure what happened there, but we're tied 1-1. Stepping in to the third game. Scientist on the spy here. Magician on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
A very rough spy game for Magician. I think he got away with some of it, but I think it's one of those things where Scientist was getting more suspicious and had thought he'd caught a couple things, because even though as good as that bug was, at that point it looks like he was already doomed.
Indeed. So, nice slow start from Scientist here. It is Papa Danger, so he does have that incredible cane arm bug.
It also makes him very suspicious when he walks by the Amba. People get very paranoid. I'd say Papa Danger, anecdotally, gets shot. When there's a mistaken shot with the new art, I feel like it's Papa Danger a lot more than the other characters.
Here's the thing, though. That doesn't seem to have been happening nearly as much on New High Rise, just because there's so much more to look at.
Yeah, I think the fact that we have 10 now might mitigate that. But his reputation precedes him, just as Scientist precedes him, which is maybe one of the reasons he's slow playing a little here.
That's true. 51% on a quick flirt there coming off. He's got the banana bread done at this point.
And Papa Danger, you'll notice, prefers wine.
That he does. He's a classy gent.
He's a classy gent. Some of them have beer steins, some of them have martinis, Long Island iced teas.
The general has a frickin' flagon.
Yeah, something German, I'm sure. But yes, Papa Danger likes the wine. Befitting a man with a sweater vest.
To the window in order to get a flirt off. Picks that up for 85% here.
Love the way he places his cane under the arm for everything.
Green test standing right at the window. Oh my god, that was so ballsy. If that had worked, I would have been so impressed. But
I gotta say, pretty subtle green test too. He kind of just flicks the book, sort of. He kind of waves his hand over it, almost like a spell.
Yeah, let's have another look at that from sniper view.
It's an interesting animation. It just sort of goes bam, like you're cured.
Well, it's like you can see him like picking it up from like one of his lower buttons or something like that.
Yeah, but it's so it doesn't look like the old microfilms that much. And one of the reasons is that a lot of people, when they're watching for microfilms, some people like to look for the head tilt. They like to keep their eye on the head. Some people, and this is me included, I like to look for the arm going down to the side pocket.
Yeah,
because
same here.
Yeah, in this case, he doesn't actually do that. He puts it more towards the front pocket.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for like the outline, the silhouette of the person, you won't see it, which I think is very interesting.
God, what a subtle animation that is.
It is.
This game is so cool.
It is so cool. I know. It's great. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get used to.
It really is.
Guy's got some tricks up his cane.
Yes! Yes! Oh, man.
Yep.
Ah, that's all.
You know,
I would love it if he kept the microfilm in the cane.
oh, like he has to unscrew the top or something. You know,
Like,
every
that's
time
his red test, right? Like, he just unscrews the top of the cane and pulls out the microfilm and rescrews it. And...
I always think of him like Yoda in the second Star Wars prequel, where he's got the cane, he's hobbling around, but then when the time comes, he just drops it, jumps around like crazy, and then picks it back up and goes back to pretending to be feeble.
Yeah. I mean...
I think he's got some tricks, yeah.
I mean, he's Papa Danger. What do you want?
They don't call him Danger for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, look at his sons. They can get away with all sorts of microfilm shenaniganry.
He's got like 4 identical twin sons, and they're all like 6'3", so you not want to mess with this guy. He's given birth to his own gang of people who look out for him. Do not mess with the Dangers, man.
Yeah, they're like their own blood relative mafia.
Yes, that's what it is. They're like an old Irish mob.
Oh man. All right, cool. So, that was an interesting game. Magician was able to pick up the win on that. Let's see how he can do on the spiral here. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Magician picks up the win, and we write an entire backstory for one of the characters. We've decided, you know, hey, Papa, Godfather, that's kind of what he is.
Oh, that failed bug! Taft is just so large.
Yeah.
Oh, God!
My goodness. Scientist, I gotta say, I think Scientist has been practicing these new bug animations.
No kidding.
They are not that visible, and he is looking out for them. You know, he could be thinking, and this is probably good advice for anyone who wants to play the new art, the bugs are harder to see. They are less standard. They're harder to see, they're harder to tell, they're harder to pick out because they don't all look the same anymore. So, generally speaking, you probably want to look harder for them because people know they can get away with them.
Let's get a slow motion replay on that bug there.
Yeah.
Here he comes. Little bit of an odd path there. You cannot see that bug at all. That was entirely path-based.
You're right. I got to be honest. I think he's, I'm going to take another look here. I think... Yeah, he's just surmising it from the path. It was a bad path. I got to be honest, though. It feels like a little aggressive on the shot to me. I feel like you're going to see paths like that sometimes that are not a spy's. Although I do think this is one of those things where, you know, people will decide sometimes at the beginning of a game, I want to rush a bug here. And that's a perfectly good thing to decide if you say, only if I get a decent chance. If I'm starting off all the way across the map with 4 people between me and the Amba, you kind of got to ditch the idea.
Yeah.
I think in this case, he decided to do it. And even though it wasn't the best fit based on the starting positions, he just did it anyway.
Yeah. Like, usually it's like, I will decide I want to try to rush something. Not, I'm going to rush this if I start near Toby, I'm purloining immediately.
Right. If you're going to do the quick purloin and the quick bug, you have to have a little thing in the back of your mind that says, okay, if they're too far away, I have to...
Here's the thing, though. It doesn't matter what my game plan is. If I spawn next to an Amba, I right-click.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I gotta say, that shot, boy, I kind of want to watch more of these games to see if maybe he shoots someone for a mistaken bug, because part of me wants to say that's a great catch, and part of me wants to say it's not. I'm not really sure. Just because it really is genuinely, I think, invisible, and I gotta imagine some other people are gonna path by the Amba like that sometimes, so we'll see.
Well, it's been a sniper's sweep so far.
Yeah, that's interesting, and that's, by the way, very significant. If we see a sniper sweep from other games, we'll think, hey, that's just how it played out. But given that this is new art, this is information about how balanced it is. It might not be that balanced yet.
Well, maybe.
We'll see. We're all learning as we go here. It's entirely possible that this is an early indicator that maybe it's still a little sniper heavy. Maybe not.
Maybe, yeah. We shall see. In the meantime, let's get on to the next game with Scientist on the Spy here, Magician on the Sniper, tied 2-2. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It is 2-2, but Scientist's first Spy game, very close to being a mission win.
Indeed.
Trying to get that early flirt in. I gotta say, if you ever want to play, Veery light, if you ever want to do what Veery does, the first thing you need to do is just look up for early pairs, because almost everybody likes to get that early flirt in.
Indeed, it's early progress that's pretty much invisible.
Yeah, if you're going to pair people for flirts, that's what you do. You look in the first 20 seconds, particularly for the second person to arrive at any particular place.
Indeed. 34% on the flirt. Banana bread coming off here.
Interesting.
One low light.
Let's see if he can get the other one. Let's see if he can get Walt Disney there.
Does he get it? There was a big low light available there. He looks like he's tracking him, so he wants this low light.
Yeah, he's having trouble with the click. Yeah, and that's big because he was an early statue visit, too, so he gets to knock him right back down.
So, the queen here, hanging out, pulling a green book. Oh, God!
Oh, boy. Wow.
What?
Boy, I don't know. Oh, Purloin. Purloin, he must have been sure about Purloin.
Oh.
Yeah, he snuck it in there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a white test, and we were too busy looking at the highlighting and lowlighting.
Yeah, we were like staring at Walt Disney, like trying to. Is he gonna get low lit? Is he gonna get low lit?
He noticed the guest list was gone, and then he noticed the queen had a drink at the bookshelf, and that was enough for him. He zooms in. Yeah, there he zooms in at 231. Sees that she's just gulping the drink and walking away with the book. Very good memory for Magician there. When I have to get a low light like that, and I kind of get distracted, and they bump around, and I don't get the click off, that can really, really throw you off for 5 or 6 seconds.
Absolutely.
As it turns out, Scientist had timed the Purloin perfectly because it took a lot of brain power to still track what was going on, but he did. So it was a smart risk on Scientist's part. It forces Magician to make a really good play, but he did.
Yeah. Yep, he did indeed. And sometimes that's all you can do in the world of Spy Party is...
Yes. Honestly, if I'm Scientist, even though that didn't work out, I'm happy with it. You do that, and you figure 4 out of 5 times I'm going to get away with this. I'm going to make them do that. They're not usually going to be able to, even if they're good. So you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with those kind of 80% plays.
Yeah. One thing I find really interesting is that as skill levels go up, generally the percentage of sniper wins goes up as well. And that generally keeps going until you hit, like, the very highest of levels when the spies start doing, like, really epic stuff.
Yeah, and I think people like to mix it up as they play more too, because beyond, I mean, you're trying to win for the most part, but once you get above, I don't know, 3, 4, 5,000 games, you're really just trying to have fun too. You want to win, but I know, for example, a lot of people will cut quote unquote boring missions like BB, even though technically speaking, if their lives were on the line, they would probably leave it in.
Well, I saw the other day, it was in a ladder match too. It was a sweet move where they're on Ballroom, and the guy pulls out a blue book as a small model female and sees there's one conversation that's like completely filled up, so he goes and hides behind it and does the microfilm there, not in a pad or anything, but you can't see it. Yeah,
if you don't see them walk into it or out of it, free microfilm.
Yeah, and then...
But if they do, you're just dead immediately.
Well, it looked like the path he took looked like he was going to stand in the conversation.
Right.
So you'd think he's in the conversation, because after he did the microfilm, he just stood there for a while.
I'm noticing that that's getting pretty popular, the microfilm in the middle of nowhere.
And then the same game, the same conversation was really full. He used it to hide a swap. Because you couldn't see the statue.
Why not? If it works, it works. Good on him.
So
I like
awesome.
it. I like that people are, finding these overpowered strategies, finding these weird strategies, hiding behind pillars and whatnot. This is how the game improves.
Question.
Love it. Yes.
What was the last game we cast?
I think we've cast exactly 5.
1,
Let me see
2,
here.
3, 4, 5. All right, so we're on Magician here, coming out on the Spiral. Scientist on the Sniper.
I believe so.
In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh boy, he did not like being dumped at that shelf, so he leaves it immediately. If Scientists were really on the ball, he'd catch him for that, but that's a pretty tough thing to catch.
That's a very difficult thing to catch so early on, because that early in the game, you're watching for so many hard tells.
Yeah, although interesting, by the way, he wanted that first flirt so bad that he wasn't even willing to hang out of the bookshelf for a minute to avoid the leaving so quickly. He thought, nope, gotta get it. Well, and he did. 34, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
This is what people do. Oh, shortly before the cooldown expires, though, ST leaves and comes right back.
Thank you, Seduction. And then the Purloin comes off. It was a white test, so that's kind of scary.
Yeah, marked suspicious, but...
Wow, zoomed way in on wheels for a moment there.
Yeah, I think he found something very suspicious about his turtleneck. I'm not really sure.
Trying to figure out if there's a listening device on there.
Yeah, right.
Maybe there's like a little earpiece or something there. That's not usually.
You know, the level of detail you got in this, you'd be able to hide one.
You really would.
So I think he's away pretty clean with the purloin. He's got a highlight, but it went up and down during the purloin.
Oh god, that bug is so obvious! Oh, you like tipped over. Did you see that?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. So funny.
Yep, just lean. Yeah.
What was that? What was
the queen looked like she was sort of dancing.
Okay, let's do the instant replay.
Yes.
Coming in at 2:17. Drink gets gulped.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
It looks like she's trying to get friendly with Taft there, kind of just nudging into him a little bit.
Yep. It's just.
Yep.
Ah, that's hilarious. Wait a second.
I'm sorry, he's not a dog person, Your Majesty.
Okay, I need to check something here.
Yes. I
need to figure out if it's the dog that does the bug. Okay, hang on.
No, come on. What? That better not be.
That would be so awesome. Okay, I need to try this. Hang on, it's science time.
I think it's the hand. I'm pretty sure. Are you going to go into replay? Yeah, you might want to go into practice mode.
I'm in practice mode. All right, cool. So, let's get on the dog side.
I don't know what to even think about this.
Have a look
If part
at this.
of the canon is that the dog is smart enough to be a spy, that's either awesome or really stupid, and I'm not really sure which.
No, not banana bread. Okay, hang on. Bug. Yeah, it's the hand.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm either relieved / disappointed.
We're one of those things. We are one of those things.
I think when we first saw the dog, we had a conversation about this in the blog comments and/or on the forums, where they said, "Could the dog bug? Is that too much? I don't know. I kind of hope it does." Anyway.
All right. So
we do have a dog. We do have a dog name, sort of. I don't know if you caught that. Now the dog.
It's not confirmed yet.
Correct. We just know that the dog it's based on, Alice's actual dog, is named Olive.
Oh, Olive?
Yeah.
Okay.
He calls it Mog, M-O-G, as like a nickname. And for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure that's a reference to Mel Brooks' comedy Spaceballs.
Okay. Yeah, I heard the Mog thing, but he didn't know if that was right, so I hadn't heard Olive.
It's a portmanteau between man and dog. There's a half-man, half-dog character named Mog.
Okay.
So he won't really confirm whether or not it's Mog or Olive or something else. I know the National suggested we call him Lieutenant Dan because he has no legs. And by the way, it also fits because, people like to call their little dogs, Mr. Bigglesworth, Professor this, Sir that. So Lieutenant is kind of a little grandiose. So I'm pretty fond of Lieutenant Dan, but we'll see what everyone else thinks.
I'm all in on Lieutenant Dan.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see. I vote for it too, but it could be that, could be Olive, could be Mog. Depends on your mood, I guess.
All right, so
that's hardcore analysis right there.
I'm just now seeing a new face in the chat that I don't recognize. So if you have any questions at all, let us know. People are super helpful around here. Without further ado, let's get into the next one. We've got Scientist on the Spy here, Magician on the Sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
The battle of magic and science rages on.
Indeed it does.
Magician going around, low-lighting the cast. Normally, I don't recommend doing this so quickly, but in this case, everyone's kind of bunched up, so he's not really missing a lot.
Very true. Also was able to hit the green test on the flirt for 36%.
Could help a lot later.
Very much could. 36 is a fairly nice number. Gives you a little bit of room. Wheels gets stuck on a couple of people.
And misses the bug. Tried to do a bug.
Yeah.
Pretty much invisible. No big problem there, but boy, that would have been nice.
Able to pick up the fingerprint on the book as well as the green transfer there. Completely invisible. Plant was in the way.
That microfilm is looking pretty viable over there on the bush. It really is. I feel like you have to really commit to seeing it and looking at it if you want to catch it. If you hit the green, the white, maybe another story. But if you can reliably hit that green, I think you're going to get away with it a lot. Well, he really wants to bug. No.
Picking up a quick flirtation at green case. Ran
gotta
over
go
there
there anyway.
really quick after the blue. If he can get away with this.
Yep. Yep. And she's on the left, which allows him to hide at least partially behind the pillar. So this is pretty much perfect. He can do everything here.
It may have been white, but it still worked like a charm.
Not bad. Oh, he does get the highlight, though.
He does indeed.
But I gotta say, it's a net win. Another flirt, the microfilm done. He's in pretty good shape here.
Absolutely.
Missed another bug. I gotta wonder if maybe the bug's a little trickier there with wheels. He's missed a couple, and we've seen him make some good bugs earlier, so I wonder if maybe the character takes some getting used to. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
He was pretty sure of that microfilm, I think. Either that or he saw one of the, was it 3 missed bugs?
Hang on a second. I think...
These shots are looking very aggressive to me. I gotta be honest, almost all the shots have been taken before I thought they would have been.
Well, the
Maybe they got a better
way
beat
his
on the New York
idle
than I do.
animation looked when he canceled into the white BB, it looked like a retalk.
Ah, yeah. Let me double check here. I think you might be right.
He's leaned over
Yes.
like that, and then he pops back up for the talk animation. It looks weird.
It was a jerky motion. Yeah, absolutely.
So it could have been that. But I think the thing with the bugs is that Wheels, visually, is a lot larger in diameter than any of the other characters, even Taft. But his actual radius for hitting bugs and things like that's the same size as everybody else.
So you have to really go very close to them, or it feels too close. Yeah.
It's the same thing. The worst thing in the world is when you're playing as Wheels and the ambassador's Taft, or the other way around.
It's really hard to tell how close you need to be without colliding.
You have to be like halfway inside the guy to make the bug go off.
Yeah, you're planting the bug in his spleen, basically, at that point. Yeah, that's interesting. I gotta say, I find it very interesting too that might have been what caused the shot. Maybe someone in the chat. I think that both players are in the chat. Maybe one of them can confirm, scientist in particular, why he shot. But if that was why, then that's very interesting to me, because one of the things I've noticed about the new art is that you can get away with stop talks and cutting statue animations a lot more than you could with the old art.
Indeed,
it's far less noticeable. So catching that would be particularly impressive.
Alright, I seem to have lost my spot again somehow.
I think we've done
7 games?
7. Yeah, I think we're at Magician as Spy, 641.35, I believe.
I think you're right.
We're still counting lower than the number of fingers I have, so I'm pretty confident that I'm right.
Wait,
once we get above 10, you're on your own.
Wait, 641.35 we're on?
I believe so.
Because I have
different time zone stuff here.
No, hang on. I'm just confusing myself. I think you might be right. Okay. That would be Magician on the Spy, Scientist on the Sniper.
Yes, and I just texted you the length of the game.
No, that's fine.
Okay, just making sure, because that's a nice way to confirm it without giving anything away.
Yeah. All right, cool. So 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, here we go. Always interesting to see, by the way, whether or not a given sniper will highlight or lowlight the ambassador. Scientist highlights. And highlighting for statues early.
White transfer at the book. That hair should have been quite a giveaway, but the drawn zoom came into effect.
Yeah, he was looking all over the place. I think he was trying to watch the ambassador in particular, which makes sense because we've been talking about how he's been catching these very subtle bugs. I think he's dedicating a disproportionate amount of time to catching them. So the upshot is maybe Magician can, adjust to that, not bug, and use that to do something else.
Indeed.
Counting on him to be watching the bug particularly closely, so anytime the ambassador is vulnerable, do something else.
Ooh, this is a fast start coming out of Magician here. He's got green film in pocket. 34% on the flirt. We've got the banana bread done.
Whoa! Oh,
that was
there goes the spy.
Odd business there. He let off a couple of lowlights with that quick banana bread, but he's making very good time here as he steps away with the blue book.
that was either a misclick or he was trying to decide whether or not he'd BB split or had been out before. He looked a little uncertain about who had been in and who had been out, which is why you might see a low light and then a highlight instead.
He did miss a low light on the queen, actually.
Yeah, that was the most noticeable, and I think maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's sitting there thinking, one of them wasn't there and one of them was, and I'm not sure which was which.
Yeah.
So rather than low light either, he highlights one, which is reasonable. Still making pretty good progress here.
Indeed. Still with 1:45 left to play. Stepping in for his second flirt. It is white.
Dear.
He's up to 61%.
That 61 is not where you want to be. He did not stand as close as he could have either. He didn't want to be too suspicious, I guess, and that really hurts him. When he stands that far away and then hits the white, he's created a lot of trouble for himself. He's going to need a close green next time now.
Well, he's going to need a green anyways.
Well, true, yeah. But that's not the position you want to be in. If you have a choice to be as close to them as you can be, you have to take it so that you're not relying on that green. We saw that cost a scientist a game earlier.
Got the book in, though. A little bit of a bad bounce coming away from the bookcase, but he's able to get that flirt done with 1 minute left to play. One mission left to do.
Microfilm looking really viable with the new art. The bushier bush and the pillar and everything. The old art high-rise microfilm was pretty much death. Oh boy.
Just stepped into a position where that bug can come off, and I think he was suspicious enough already to just be willing to take the shot.
If I'm Magician at this point, not only am I thinking about not bugging, I'm thinking about not going anywhere near the Amba because I gotta wonder if maybe that's one of those things where while he was suspicious of him, maybe he thought he saw a bug that wasn't there. Because they are so subtle.
They are. Except the queen.
Except the queen. Who basically lunges at people. But I'm really fascinated by the one major difference being that old art high-rise microfilm was a total non-starter, and now it isn't. Now it's very viable with just a couple tweaks here and there. The pillar here, the bush there, and next thing you know, it's one of the more viable hardtails.
It's
very cool.
So cool how these subtle little things change so much.
Yeah, I really like that. I didn't think that would happen. I really didn't. So I really like seeing the evolution of this. And I'll be interesting to see whether or not people keep doing this, where they focus on the bug, or whether or not they adjust the microfilm a little bit, or maybe those are the two things. You're not seeing many swaps, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
By the way, I am very excited about this because I cannot resist a good microfilm transfer. This is a well-known fact about me.
You couldn't resist it anyway, and it was getting you killed. So now you just get to keep on being yourself, and maybe it doesn't hurt you.
Exactly. Yes. All right. Cool.
This could save a lot of lives.
It could at that. So I believe we're still on the sniper sweep here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty crazy, but it's true.
Yeah.
And not just sniper sweep in terms of just wins, not just timeouts, for example. All spy shot. 8 for 8.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Scientist stepping into the spiral to see if he can change this. Magician on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
He gets dumped at statues.
Takes a drink from that massive flagon of his and picks up the statue for his first pair of inspects and a highlight to boot.
Yeah. Tough call, if you want to try to override it or not. Oh, he does.
Oh, God, it's a white swap. Oh, no, those were 3 threes. Don't do that.
I think he maybe...
Oh, he got the bug coming through, too. That was awesome.
Yeah, and Magician, by the way, did not tilt or anything to try to see that while it was happening, so it was basically invisible. He would have been able to surmise that there was a bit of a bump, but that's about it.
Yeah, he doesn't know the swap. He has no idea about the swap.
There he is. He sees it.
Oh, he thought he caught it too late.
Yeah, boy. That could have been a GIF-wrapped game for Magician there if he just noticed the statue a little bit more early.
Yeah.
But I think he thought, and this is usually a safe assumption, he's sitting there thinking when he's highlight someone like that, and they're at the statues early, but they clearly didn't rush the statues, you're sitting there thinking, I don't need to watch closely because there's no way they're going to swap here, because it's so counterintuitive. It's usually a safe guess to kind of just say, I can check back on those a little bit later. I can watch the Amba in the meantime or something like that. So that's what he does. He checks back on the swap later, but he does a little bit too late to realize and thinks it's just the last person who was there.
Yeah.
By the way, very helpful of the Queen to go to the same statue shortly after he was
Queen didn't go
there.
to the same statue. Queen went to center. It just
Oh, well then he must have not noticed which one she was at.
Yeah, she put it down,
Okay.
and as she started to walk away, he looked over and saw her leaving
my mistake,
from a statue that had been swapped and shot her.
Yeah, right. So he looked just in time to see her walking away from the general area.
Yeah.
That's
he got the exact anti-timing. But the thing is, if he'd looked any later, Miss White would be holding it because she went there.
Yeah, actually, the fact that 3 people went to those 2 statues in the early going, there's no way to know that was going to happen, but it turned out to be good timing based on what happened just after he left. Unconventional choice, but it works out.
Very ballsy move coming out of Scientist, picking up the first spy win of the night. Let's see if Magician can answer back in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
See if we broke the spy seal.
That didn't start. The game didn't start. Hang on. Let's start over.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, playing it. There we go.
Didn't the game hear you do your patented countdown? Doesn't it know to start when you say playing it? Well, it ought to be voice activated, Checker.
Yeah. When I say playing it, I hit 3 and click at the same time, and for some reason the click didn't register. So, quick 50% on the flirt from Taft. Steps away to center statues. Immediately after, picks up a quick highlight for it.
This is interesting. Right before he went to statues, he walked right by the Amba, and a perfect bug opportunity. Scientist wasn't actually watching that close this time. Not nearly as close as he was the other games, where he was watching him like a hawk.
Indeed.
So, very interesting. I wonder if there's any logic to it, or if it's just sort of, whatever strikes him in the moment.
We shall see.
He might think, hey, I've got it for bugs so much that maybe he won't try it for a while.
That's not where you want to stand, Taft.
Yeah, I gotta say, even a much thinner fellow would look a little squished in there.
Picks up a green. For some reason, didn't get closer. It would have been a 2 flirt, but now it's not.
Yeah, that makes all the difference, that 2%. And by the way, 98% was exactly the percent he was on during that first game when he had to add time. So that number is taunting him.
It really is.
But yes, a gentleman as portly as Taft, really standing out in that particular position.
Yeah. That he is. 2 minutes left to play. Inspect, done, highlight, yes.
Maybe he started off farther from her, and he's just large enough that he has his own gravitational pull, and he just pulled her a little bit closer.
No, he didn't. He just stepped right in there.
No? Okay. I wasn't sure. I figure it's close.
There's the flirt getting done. Minute and 40 left to play as he steps away into conversation to pick up the banana bread real quick here.
Yeah. Not a bad start. 2 missions done, both soft tails, but he's got a couple other highlights here. I don't think he's a particularly big suspect.
Doesn't look like he's willing to go for that BB at this point in time. He let off 2 big lowlights. Well, he doesn't know they're big lowlights.
Yeah, good instincts though.
Indeed.
I don't know. Maybe he was sharp enough to realize that some of them had been to statues. For example, one he knew was at statues right then. You really don't want to knock that off if you can help it.
And at this point, with so many people outside of conversation, there's no way.
Yeah, he needs 1 or 2 more in there.
What is the plan? He has requested the drink. It is going to be a green purloin. BB coming off. Mission win is pending. How is this going to turn out? There's 1 low light.
Yeah. It's not a great BB, but if you're figuring it's going to come right before you actually get a mission win, that's not as bad to let it narrow down, because he's going to have to actually shoot.
It's down to 3.
There's the purloin.
There's the purloin.
He's thinking about it.
Does he know it was green? Oh, Taft was hiding! Taft was hiding!
Now, I gotta say, he lingered on her for a while. He didn't look like he missed.
No, he definitely didn't miss.
Yeah, I think he just figured it has to be one of... I think he was almost positive it was a green, so he assumes it's got to be one of these people who rejected, and they were standing so close to each other again that it'd be very hard to go back in your memory and say, was it a little left or a little right?
Yeah.
Because just a couple pixels is the difference between Taft rejecting and, bouncy hair rejecting.
Yes. But at the same time, look at this.
I love that he's standing there after she falls in the crosshairs. That's so cool.
Look at this. Look at this. There's frizzy hair there, and then a little bit of brown around the edges. And then there's Miss White, who's not highlit.
Yep.
And once you see that green test come off from Alice, you're like, there's a highlight right there who it looks like just rejected.
Yeah, two of them. Yeah, two highlights right next to it. Boy. And you could tell, by the way, he kind of zoomed out. He's paused for a second. The laser didn't bounce around. He wasn't trying to find anyone.
Yeah.
It looked very much like he was just thinking about it. You know, who was it? Who just rejected? I'm pretty sure that's green. Who was it? Tough call. Had to make it. He was right to take a shot, certainly. And in that case, very tough. But you know, combining the BB simultaneously there with the Purloin, gutsy move at the end. But I like it. It was aggressive and it worked really well. And hey, 2 spy wins in a row now.
Yeah, Magician answers back. Keeps things tied up, now at 5. As we're not going to get through all these games. We're totally not. That's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah. Scientist getting ready to step back into the spiral once more. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
The tide may be turning here.
I see what you did there.
I honestly don't.
Tide? They're tied.
Oh, jeez. You know what? I should have pretended I knew what I was doing. It's rare that I make a pun that isn't intentional.
That was what?
No inspects on that statue visit.
And no swap.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. And he is
and a white time ad with a laser on her hair.
Okay.
Huh? Wait, what is this game?
Yeah, I don't know.
Back to that statue.
Oh, I'm sorry. I left my watch here. Sorry.
She just checked her watch.
I don't know what's going on.
All right, now we're inspecting.
This doesn't seem
and
very
then we
scientific.
red swap. All right.
Well, the good news is red swap might as well be white. That's not too much worse. Well, let's see. You know, I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe Magician is not memorizing statues every game.
But, I mean...
Let's find out. He has not looked at those far-right statues, I don't think, at any point in this game. I think he's completely discounted them.
Well, I think he looked at them when he highlit hair.
Well, I thought he highlighted her through the glass. Let's see if he notices now. He just glanced at the statue.
Anyway, by the way, we got a bug off. Bug has happened.
I think the Amba approached her, so that was a nice opportunity.
It was in convo.
He's checked the statue. He moved over it just long enough to see the statue. So I don't know. Either he didn't notice or he's not sure because he's not low lighting his non-statue highlights, for example.
So it looks like he's gotten away with both the bug and the swap.
And what's unusual here is that almost always, there's only 2 reasons to time add. If you're going to use it effectively, either you're literally just going to do nothing for a while, which is what he's thinking about doing here, or you use it to stretch out things like fingerprint and flirt, which can take a while.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to do the former. It's very unusual to do a lot of hardtails with a time add. Usually the benefit of the time add is that you can stretch out the softtails, especially when fingerprint is active.
Yeah, 52% on the flirt, close green will finish that up. I wonder if he can fingerprint as well. I don't think so at this point. I think that's a bit much to ask.
Only needs one more inspect, and he's already been to statues twice. Might as well go one more time.
I don't think he wasn't seen there the first time though.
Right, he wasn't seen there the first time, or not marked at least. But it'll still be at least a multiple statue visit, which will attract attention.
By God, that purse dog is adorable.
Yeah, I love it.
Little bit of odd pathing coming back into statues for this final inspect.
Looks like he wants to finish that up and then try to do the flirt, and he's got plenty of time for it, although he's still going to need a green. And he's found himself throughout the set, needing green flirts, which is a very tricky proposition to be in.
He's got enough time, though, that even if he has to 4-flirt, this should work.
There it is.
Nope.
Yeah, that's second statue visit, and already some general suspicion. Yeah, that's what gets him.
Yeah.
He might have been more suspicious than he let out of the swap. In cases like that, I'm almost invariably, if I'm confident of my highlights, I'm going to invariably low light anyone who hasn't been. But, you know, there's a small enough cast here that you don't necessarily have to do that. And also, we've talked about this before. If someone is super suspicious, if you're 90% sure they've swapped or purloined or something, sometimes you don't even bother changing highlights or lowlights because it gives away information and you're already sure who you're tunneling on.
Yeah.
In that case, second statue visit is, well, he could be done. I think it's probably him. If he goes back, I got to shoot him, and he did.
Yeah. All right. So.
Good win. Good win.
Yeah. We're seeing some very strong sniper play and we've seen a few really sweet spy moves.
We have. I feel like some of the early games will be a little sloppier, but I feel like they're both settling into a really good rhythm where where a lot of the wins are not so much mistakes, but one really good move followed by a slightly better move. You know, a really good bug just gets caught, or that was a pretty good spy game, I thought, but obviously a slightly better sniper game for Magician.
I mean, some of these bug hatches have been ridiculous.
Yeah. It makes me think I probably shouldn't bug against either of these guys, maybe.
Really? It just makes me think, holy crap, people are so good at this game.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting. It is.
Alright, so stepping into the next one, Magician on the Spy, Scientist on the Sniper, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So even though that was a spy loss, I gotta say it was a pretty well played game, I think. I don't know if I agree with the decision to go for a timeout and then 2 hard tells, but that's debatable.
Yeah.
Well, early bug, off clean. Well, maybe not clean.
It was a nice bug. It very much was a nice bug.
Yeah, Scientist was in the middle of the general sweep of the map, looking at statues, things like that. It's really hard not to do that. You kind of have to do it.
Yeah. Did you see that nice little move from Magician? It didn't quite pay off, but he requested a drink from Toby as he saw him offer Alice the tray. And he did it again. Saw him offer Alice the tray, requested a drink immediately before he even knew she took it.
Interesting.
So, really gunning for that fingerprint, and he's able to pick up one here.
I gotta say, if you're watching Fingerprint closely, that can be pretty obvious, but boy, that feels like one of the safer ones, the fingerprinting of the drink.
Yeah.
Because it can be so quick.
Very much so. Very, very much so.
I think generally speaking of the I think 4 different ways you can fingerprint, that one generally feels the safest to me. Requires the most effort on the part of the sniper to catch.
Nice green banana bread coming off of there. That was very good stuff. Except a flirt coming off of it as well.
Only one hard lowlight, although Scientist does lowlight Walt Disney as well. Probably just thinking it's unlikely to be him, but I think only one was a hard lowlight.
Indeed.
Although Taft does get bumped down as well.
Bug done. Contact done. 25% on the flirt, and a minute and 40 left to play. This is looking pretty good for Magician.
Yeah, if he can get a fingerprint in.
Another fingerprint off the drinks.
Very nice. If he can finish up this flirt, he's now 75%. That's going to be a little rough. He's going to need a green, and he's going to be cutting it a little bit close, maybe. He could go in for the inspects, but a little risky.
We've had problems with green flirts.
Yeah. This is where you really have to make like a game theory decision. You have to think, I've got a minute left. You know, what kind of risk do I want to take, and what do I rush if it looks like it's not going to fall apart?
Here's what I say: go for the flirt. If you don't hit green here, pick something else.
Oh, hit the green but walks away. He hit the test, but just a little too late. I like this. He's got a backup now. He's going to carry the book with him, maybe try to flirt, and if it doesn't work, dump that book. It's a good move. Could be a little obvious.
There it is. It is green.
Ooh, 40-some seconds left. I don't know.
43 left.
Yeah, you got to move if you want that cooldown.
Walt Disney steps away. This can definitely happen.
Yeah, that could help. 30 seconds, but when's he going to get back into a flirtable position?
He's on the briefcase right now. We're putting this book back.
Ooh, ditching his backup plan. That's interesting. I know he wants to seem a little less suspicious, but that's risky. He's all in on the flirt now.
That was just him making time to wait for the flirt. Here comes the flirt. It's a super fast talk that comes off. Flirt does happen. We were on mission countdown. It does not look like he's going to take a bullet for this. He's thinking about it, but the shot doesn't come.
Here we go. Nope. He's safe.
Magician.
Wow, well timed. He flirted with almost exactly 11 seconds left, so there was going to be no overtime. Really nice move. Definitely talked a little quick, but I don't have any big problem with that. He wasn't too suspicious otherwise. I still think I would have hung on to the book. I understand that he kind of wants to lay low and give himself some time, but I'd be inclined to read by the window maybe. Just because you cut that so close, you want to have a backup plan if you've got it. But it worked out really well, and it was really well timed.
Well, I think he knew he was suspicious enough that the hard transfer was more or less death.
Pretty clear he didn't want to go to statues at all either, but boy, really well done, really well done. And thankfully, one of those games where the ST, while he wasn't especially cooperative, it wasn't one of those games where he made it impossible on him. You know, you're kind of he was at his mercy there for the last 40 seconds, and thankfully he didn't do anything too detrimental.
like go to the blue bookcase.
Go to the bookcase, exactly.
I saw that happen to KCM once, where it was literally a minute. Where what was it? It was. I'm trying to remember. It was briefcase into window at the other end of the map.
Yeah.
Into bookcase of not the color of the book he's holding.
Right, yeah. Well, we've all been there. It's absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
We've all got our stories of, all I had to do was BB, and I had 1:30 left, and they never came back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, another spy win for Magician, and not just a spy win,
this
but
is
the first...
Yeah, first set lead of the match.
And first mission win for spies. The other two were civilians, so...
That's true.
We've played quite a few games, and that's our first spy mission win.
So, Scientist starting to fall behind a little bit. Let's see if he can start coming back into this with 2 games left to cast, because we're running out of time here. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think Scientist's overall level of play has been a little better, because some of his losses were a lot closer, and some of Magician's losses were a lot quicker. But I mean, the scoreboard's what matters, and he's got a slight lead on him. He's really picked it up here lately.
Indeed.
I think maybe he was playing into Scientist's hands a little bit early on, trying to bug, for example, when he was, watching those bugs so closely.
Yeah.
But you got to give him credit. One of the points of these matches is that after the first handful of games, you adjust, and he's adjusting.
What are you doing? What is going on? Oh, he gets highlight. He thinks it's a statue. It's not a statue.
I got to be honest. Looking from sniper view, it looks like he's holding a statue.
That was awesome.
It doesn't look that different.
What a move! What a play!
I think maybe this is one of those things where it's like, I just want to see if I can do this.
What a play!
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, blue film in pocket because of that. Now
you're gonna try to put it back into the green.
He's got.
Oh my goodness.
He's visible.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. There it is.
Didn't even need, by the way, a white would have done it too. He shot very shortly after he saw the arm go down. So the red was just a bonus. He was looking for the
that game was amazing.
This is feeling I kind of wonder if maybe Wodar hacked Scientist's account here. Because this is the kind of thing he loves to do. Wodar's not happy winning. Wodar likes to win in an unconventional way. He wants to win in a way he hasn't won before.
He wants to win with style. Let's be honest. Wodar has a lot of flair when it comes to Spy Party.
Yes, he does. He's got a lot of flair, absolutely. So this was a very Wodar-esque game. Let's call an homage.
Yes. Wodar is not one who simply does. Wodar does with panache.
One does not simply snipe against Wodar. It is folly.
All right, let's get into this last game here.
All right.
Magician,
what do we got? What's the score? What's the score?
Score is 8-5 in favor of Magician.
Well, yeah, very close for a while there, but he's reeled off a few in a row.
Indeed. Let's get into this last one here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
See if we can cap it off with a spy win.
Man, that would be a 4-piece right at the end. Wouldn't that be epic?
Yeah.
What was that path?
Oh boy.
Right through the inside of the conversation.
Well, during the time of chaos, pretty much anything goes.
That's true. 34% on the flirt to get things started.
I don't know if it's just me, but Wheels looks really crammed into that conversation too.
Wheels looks fine. It's the general that looks a little bit off.
From the sniper view, for some reason, even when he's in the right place, he looks like he's too...
his wheel is on the general's foot, so that's a problem.
That's very rude. I guess he's been drinking a lot and he doesn't feel it.
Yeah.
Listen, the general's seen a lot worse than that. That foot's probably titanium or something. Don't worry.
Yeah, probably. It's like, he just wears his steel. That's not a pad. That's not a pad. Okay, we fixed it.
Okay. Well, that's one of those things where it could look like the aftermath of a briefcase if you're not looking closely enough.
Yeah.
When people stop next to the amba, pause for a second, and then leave, it kind of reads in your mind as a briefcase if you're not looking too closely.
Indeed. So picking up another flirt, up to 67% here.
And the end of red.
Not a whole lot going on yet. Oh,
White
interesting.
ED comes off, and he immediately goes to pull a drink.
Yeah, 2 people one person with a hard low light, so pretty well timed, actually.
Indeed.
Not bad.
Stepping in to green case here. Maybe looking for some transferage.
Ooh, double sips, I think there? No. No, and what on earth? Is he just leaving?
Yeah. Looks
Okay.
like he's not books.
He went to go get a book, took a drink, and I guess the alcohol convinced him he didn't really want to read.
Yeah.
He's thinking, well, one more drink, and I think the text is kind of blurry now, so I'm just going to get out of here.
Well, there's the white purloin coming off.
Another
And
drink.
I think it's been seen.
Hard to say. He's not really reacting much, and
Yeah.
not
It was-
gulping either. He's
It
just
was
gonna,
certainly on screen, but it doesn't look like it's been caught.
He's choosing to play it cool. He's not going to run away or gulp. He's just going to hang out there, you know. Hey, if
Good
I'd
play, I think. The just hanging out, because he was back facing, so it's hard to tell he had a drink. A little bit of an odd bounce coming off there into his last flirt.
I like the move that basically says, hey, look, if I'd purloined, I wouldn't just stand here, would I? With this drink? No. I'd get out of there.
Oh, the red flirt. No.
Ooh, that hurts. And that would have been that would have finished it up, and he would have had one mission left to go.
Indeed.
It was all unfolding nicely there with about a minute left, but that red flirt actually could really muck things up.
What's the plan now? 40 seconds left to play. Time is running short.
This is where he was last time, too. He snuck it in under the wire, but he's got to make another good decision here. What's he going to do?
If
Seducing what? Seducing what?
doesn't have a fingerprint done.
No,
There
it
is
doesn't.
a fingerprint available, but it's
Expect-
not. He can't. You can't get a second one in. Unless
he's
he goes
already
to two
BB.
statues, at which point you may as well just inspect anyway.
He's already BB'd, so he can't cue a shot very easily.
It's the flirt. Ambassador goes into a perfect position to be bugged. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Is it going to happen? There's the bug coming off. Does he get shot for it? He does, it
Oh,
looks like.
wow. Yep. Good bug, though, again. Jeez, I gotta
Indeed.
say, he played those last 10 seconds or so really well. You know, he snuck in the flirt, and he got the bug off. On the other hand, people are looking for that bug really close near the end of the game.
Especially when the Ambassador is at the back wall there. That is the most buggable spot for him to be.
It's a very vulnerable position, yeah. I gotta say, one thing that made that game a little easier on the sniper side, I think, is that the Amba did not hang out near people very often. She was at statues a lot. She was away from the crowds. That actually, nobody really talks about this, but that makes these games a lot easier. It's a lot less taxing. You can kind of put them out of your mind and really watch the other stuff. So the Ambassador a little accommodating, but good catch at the end. Well-played game on both sides, I thought.
Absolutely. Well-played match on both sides. Magician able to take it away 8-6.
Yes, thank you to both for giving us something new to cast with the New Art High Rise, for helping along with the meta, and just kind of, you know, anyone who plays New Art High Rise right now is contributing to kind of finding out what we need to balance it, and just letting us looking at the pretty graphics is always nice, and you know, good stuff, good bug catches, good bugs, both, and just excellent match.
The glory of alphas.
This is the fun part of being in on it,
Yeah. Thanks a ton to you as well for coming out to cast with me. These are so much fun. I love these so much.
Yes, me too. Good to be back in the saddle, and thank you for having me as always.
All right. So, a little bit of housekeeping before we go. I haven't decided yet, but I may do away with the Tuesday show and instead go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all at 8 p.m. Eastern, back to back to back like that. It's not as spread out, but it gives us an extra show. So that's something that's flipping around in my head. We'll see how that turns out.
Hey, a lot of people party all weekend. Why can't you spy party all weekend?
Very true. Very true. Thanks for everybody who came out to watch as well. And until next time, this is Toboshi and Warning Track. Signing off.